Hello guys and welcome back to Habitual Crypto. My name's Dan and here on the channel we like to make good habits in trading. So if you're interested in crypto and news on Bitcoin and altcoins, feel free to leave a like and a comment and subscribe to our YouTube or Twitch channels. Um, and today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, going right into that chart, and then we have a little bit of news, not much at all, and then we'll dive into a lot of altcoins today and see if uh, the drop is done, if we've bottomed out here. So at first we'll go right into the Bitcoin chart here. Let me just get rid of our indicators really quick. Um, yeah, so this is the hourly chart. Um, we are definitely, we did break down. We were hoping yesterday when we hit 52,000, we would get a bounce there. But it just wasn't enough. And this morning, we broke down to our next level, right around 5,000, a little, or 50,000, a little bit above that. And we were able to make support on that so far. Um, and we have these levels, and obviously 50,000 is a big psychological number in a lot of people's minds. A lot of people, when it got to 60, were probably saying, "Oh, I'm going to wait for 50, for a dip down to 50 to buy." And institutions are probably waiting. So we had this. I'm going to go to the daily because I want to show you guys exactly what we've been bouncing on here. Switch to auto. So this was the channel we were in. We've talked about this a lot. But we broke out of this channel, and besides 50,000 being a really big psychological number, and we've had some support and resistance there. Not really a key level though for resistance. We kind of passed right through it the week that we first broke it. But more importantly than our channel here, what has been acting as support as well is the 50-day exponential moving average, the 50-day EMA here, and that is more likely what traders were looking at when we got this bounce here. So normally we've been holding above the 21-day. When we've been bullish, we've been able to kind of hold above the 21-day moving average. If you look, like, we kind of bounce right above it every time. But when we have dipped below it here, let me get rid of the 9 so it's a little clearer. So when we have gotten below the 21-day EMA here, the next line of support has been the 50-day here. And here, we were a little bit above it when we got support. But here is even more perfect of a spot. So, if you guys are charting yourselves, having the 21-day and the 50-day EMAs are a good indicator to be following for those lines of support. Now, even though we are currently getting a bounce, I'm going to go back in on the 4-hour here. Even though we are currently getting a bounce on the 50-day moving average, overall, basically since March 13th, we are in a bear trend. We're making lower lows, lower highs, lower low, lower high, and now a lower low. So even if we do get a bounce up here, first of all, now we can look at this trend line from the channel. Most likely will act as resistance when we get back up there. Now we're going to have to break into the trend, or break back into the channel we were in. I can erase those. And let me just turn these off, make it very clear here. So yeah, we're going to have to break above 52,000, which acted as support, and kind of make that a support again. And then we're going to have to break back into this channel. So we have this, a few lines of resistance here. We can even bring this down further, and basically all of these, the red line here and the two green lines, will most likely act as some sort of resistance. And the only way I'm going to feel bullish about Bitcoin in the short term is if we can basically break through both of these green resistance lines here. If we can break up above them and make one of them support again, that's going to, especially the one coming down here, because if we don't break that, most likely a lower low is in the picture here. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for. It is, if we do fall, I'm looking at around 47,000, 438. I have that specific number because that is a really big whale accumulation zone. So we looked at whale map on Twitter. It charts the big buys, what levels have the biggest Bitcoin buys at. And on the way up, 47,438, that was the biggest buy zone so far. So, and there is, we do have some consolidation here and here in the past. So I'm looking at that as support if we do have one more leg down. Now, if I go back to the daily and turn back on our 50-day EMA, you'll see when we did hit the 50-day, we had an enormous run up. That was in late January, okay? We had an enormous run up there. And then when we came down and got very close to it again, we had a big run up again to all-time highs. So there is the argument to be made that maybe we're topping out here or bottoming out. And this candle, this daily candle, so far, the day is not over, but having that big wick down, that's a bullish, more of a bullish candle, even though it's red. I'm saying that because when it got down to these levels, it got bought all the way back up, and this might end up being green by the end of the day. So if that happens, if we're able to close above 52,300, if we're able to close the day above those levels, I would be, I would be more confident that we might have bottomed out at 50,000. But the trend is still down. in the short term. In the long term, I'm very bullish on Bitcoin, but in the short term, I am bearish, and you know, I don't think we will go. If we do have another leg down, I think 47,000 is going to be a very strong support. So, and I would most likely, if we get a nice bounce there, believe that would be the bottom if we have another leg down. But this could be the bottom. Again, that 50-day, every time we've gotten close to it or hit it, we've had a nice run up. I mean, the 2 times this year. So we've never really gotten close to it besides those 2 times. So, that could be what a lot of traders are looking for as a bottom. So, and we're already, Bitcoin seems to be going up a little now. We're at 52,250, so we're very close to making the daily candle a green candle. And yeah, if we turn on, let's see, our other indicators here. So this is on the daily. Let's see what we have here. So from bottom to bottom is pretty we have a higher low so far, higher low from this bottom to this bottom, and then so basically from here to here we have higher lows, and then from the same spot on the RSI, if I chart that out, from here to where we are now, we have slightly lower lows, which is bullish divergence there. But we also, from our last high to our next high, we have bearish divergence. So we have higher highs and lower highs on the RSI here. So I mean, it's a little neutral, but the more current price with the RSI is bullish right now, but overall, it's pretty neutral. There's some bearish and bullish divergence on the daily, so we'll see what happens there. Some bullish news here on Bitcoin is that NYDIG, which is they have a big Bitcoin fund. They are confirming that like governments have started investing in Bitcoin. So in Singapore, they have a sovereign wealth fund. So it's a state-owned investment fund called Temasek, and they hold about $306 billion under assets, and they have been buying virgin Bitcoins from miners. So basically meaning directly from the miners, they've been buying Bitcoin right after it's mined. So it never even goes to an exchange or anything like that. So some governments are starting to bet on Bitcoin, which is a good thing for Bitcoin. And the same company, NYDIG, cuts total cost of Bitcoin access to 0.3%. So basically, they are there's a lot of institutional uh, interest in Bitcoin, is what I take from this, and they're trying to uh, basically entice institutions to uh, go into their fund because they're lowering the fees. So, like, Grayscale Bitcoin Fund probably has a higher fee than this. They're touting that it's the lowest in the industry. So, they're trying to get um, these institutions, basically, the institutions are coming, and it's kind of a fight for what funds they invest in, what investment companies they pick to invest in Bitcoin through. So if they're not buying it directly, so that's a good sign. I think the overall uh, long term scenario is. It just seems like Bitcoin's kind of unstoppable now. Like, yeah, we might go into a bit bear market and uh, eventually, probably more towards the end of this year, in my opinion. Not financial advice, um, but yeah, overall, I am very, very confident in the future of Bitcoin. I don't think it cannot be shut down anymore. It's not just funny internet money. It is a legit asset. Big companies are investing a lot of money into Bitcoin, and um, it will replace gold. So that alone is, you know, will make Bitcoin global. Um, Besides all of the other fundamentals of it. So yeah, so that's Bitcoin right now. We will keep an eye on it uh, throughout the day. And let's see here. Let's go to Ethereum. So let's erase this, clean it up a little bit here. So this head and shoulders pattern that we talked about the other day did end up uh, panning out. Yeah, almost exactly down to, I think we said 1550, and it went to 1545. So um, this support did not hold. And yeah, so it doesn't look that great for Ethereum as well. It's following Bitcoin pretty well, although it's more long-term trend line like Bitcoin had, is still intact. So the level we want to be watching is get rid of this. Yeah, the level we want to be watching is, let's turn these EMAs on. Yeah, so it is below its 50-day EMA, which is not a great sign. It didn't get the bounce off that like Bitcoin did. But this level right around 1500, if we get a nice bounce from there, if we do continue to go down, we are still in a triangle here. So a symmetrical triangle. So we're hoping, this consolidation continues. And, if this pans out and we do break up from it, then this is the let me just this is the, we would be looking at around $2,550 if this triangle pans out here. So we're hoping we can break up from here, and hopefully there'll be some good news for Ethereum in the the next month. I really think they need it. They need a little boost here. So yeah, that's my Bitcoin and Ethereum analysis right now. I mean, if we look on the short term, I think pretty much most of the market is going to be following Bitcoin right now. Yeah, I mean it's bouncing just like Bitcoin is. So the same rules apply. Although if Ethereum does drop another leg, I would look for this trend line to act as support, which Bitcoin doesn't really have anymore. Now it's below its trend line. So, um, yeah, that's what I'd say about Bitcoin and Ethereum. Um, and now we can move on to any altcoins you guys want to look at. So let me know in the chat if there's any specific coins you want to look at. Let me bring up the top coins for the day. So there was some news about Theta. It did have quite a significant drop last night, I believe, because their mainnet, they were supposed to launch mainnet, I believe, and they got delayed or something like that. So there was like a 25% drop. We'll look at Theta because that is a project I'm interested in getting, acquiring if there's a decent retracement, because it's been going up substantially. Okay. Hey, Hoax Gabs. Yeah. Yeah, it was delayed till June. Wow, that's quite a delay. So, yeah, I'm hoping they have a big retracement up till the end of May, and then whenever it hits some targets, we'll look and see what, like a 50% retracement would be a really nice spot to acquire some, because I think, I mean, it's kind of late to even say this, but Theta just being like a decentralized YouTube is probably going to be, all it takes is a couple big players from YouTube, the YouTube space, to move to Theta to start bringing the masses, in my opinion. So I don't know if I'm sure they have a few already, um, but yeah, once that happens, I think a lot will follow. So I like that. So we'll look at Theta. And Holo has also been on a nice run there, having a good day, because not many coins are up today. So let's see. Anchor and Dent is up a little bit, but nothing's really, everything's following Bitcoin for the most part, at least in like the top 300 coins. Let's see. Okay, Aragon up 56%, and Render token and Chain Games. That's a NFT project. Let's see here. All right, so not too many winners today, but we'll look at a bunch of altcoins anyway. See, I think I did get an alert on our Matic. We're gonna keep an eye on Matic for a good retracement, and it seems to have hit that a little sooner than later, so let me pull that up. Okay, yeah, so we got down to these levels. Let's see again how far the retracement is. Yeah, so this is 43 it got down to. Yeah, this 786 would probably be an ideal place to accumulate, because Matic right now is, now I believe the optimism roll-ups that I've been talking about has been pushed back as well. I think they're going to launch in May now, instead of the end of this month, like now. And there's another Stake is another layer 2 solution, but Matic and Matic Polygon is probably the best layer 2, the most used layer 2 solution right now. And if they're working right, and acquiring, I'm going to put this here. Yeah, if Matic is getting a bunch of projects involved, being a part of a lot of projects, then and these other layer 2 solutions are getting delayed, a lot more projects are going to just say, listen, we can't wait any longer, and adopt what's working now. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye on that, because in the long term, I think Matic is going to do very well either way. Yeah, let me know if there's any coins you guys want to look at. Kusama. Yeah, Kusama did not quite get up to the next fib extension, and when it broke past the previous one, it had a big drop. Tried to make support there, but probably with Bitcoin had a little trouble. But yeah, that was a big run up anyway, so we'll see what, probably gonna have a period of consolidation here. Yeah, same with Polkadot. Bitcoin dominance still, you know, it's possible it's starting to head back up now, but even with all of this, Bitcoin turbulence, still staying below 62%, which, is a good sign for altcoins if that's what, you're worried about. Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's staying below the main trend line, but still has some support where it bottomed out. So this is Flow. Some of the big NFT projects. Yeah, the NFT, the main NFT projects all seem to be in a retracement. This is Engine. Same sort of thing. There is some nice support here, though. Right at $2. So we'll see if it breaks $2. It's probably headed down to like $1.70. It's lonely in here, Dylan. You gotta invite your friends. You got any coins you want to look at? Oh, I could turn the music back on. Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, I gave my synopsis earlier, but none of this is financial advice, but one of the key levels we are looking at is this pink line, the 50-day exponential moving average. Every time we've hit that, we've gotten a big run up. We got very close to it here and had another big run up to all-time highs, and now we literally almost touched it here. So in this year, January through March, every time we've hit it, it's been the bottom. But that's only been twice, that we've hit it. But both times have been the bottom, and we've then went up from there. So do I think you should short it? I personally would not be shorting Bitcoin right now. There is a good chance we can move up from here. If we go to the hourly, the hourly trend still has not changed bullish yet. We have to wait and see if we make a higher low here. So this was this morning, we hit our bottom, and now we've made a higher high here than here, and then now we have to make a higher low to change the hourly trend. And then once we do that, we can zoom out and look at the 4-hour. It's basically a zooming out game. You wait for the 15-minute trend to change, then the hourly, then the 4-hour, 12-hour daily. That's how you look for the trend change. But we don't have that yet. So right now it's pretty. It's a guessing game. It's a coin flip. Whether we're going down or not. If we do go down another leg, if we go past 50,000, if we drop below 50,000, I think we're probably headed down to about 47.5. That's my next level, which I think will be very, very strong support. But we may not go down that far. So right now the 50-hour moving average is acting as resistance. So if we're able to break above that, there'll probably be a little boost there. And then you want to get past the 21. And some of these resistance, like this trend line that we broke, which went all the way back to January, is going to act as resistance now. And this downward trend line is still in play as well. So we have a lot of resistance to break through before before we can say we're back in an uptrend. But if we look at the daily, I believe we just turned this candle green. So Dylan, this is the daily candle having this big wick down here. That looks good because it got bought all the way back up. Basically, that's suggesting, there's a lot of buying pressure right around 50,000. So, it's still very hard to tell. Macro analysis, like if we go to the weekly, the RSI does not look good. If I lift this up here, we have 3 weeks here, or 3 weekly candles. We made a higher high, higher high. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So 3 higher highs on the on the price, and then we made 3 lower highs on the RSI here. So that is not what you want to see. Like this is not, you know, this is in the weekly, but you know, we did have a dip, so this was suggesting we were going down. It's just, you know, the sentiment really hasn't changed yet on the weekly, but it might just be time for some consolidation. If we don't get that another leg up, we might just move sideways for a while. We're gonna have to see. On the 15-minute, we made a higher high, higher low. Now we've made a higher high. So the 15-minute trend has changed. So we zoom out, go to the hourly, and we're still waiting here. It hasn't been enough time since we hit our bottom. We were going to look at theta. No problem, man. Appreciate that. Theta. Yeah, look at it. This chart is just really nice. My guess, though, would be that could you please can you I'm not sure what you're asking. Are you saying Oh, yeah, yeah. You want to look at theta? Yeah, so uh, we were talking about this earlier, and Hoax Gabs told me. I knew it was delayed. Their mainnet was delayed, but they they told me it's delayed till June, which is kind of a big delay. So basically, overnight it dropped 30%. Um, and then TWT, yeah, we can do that. We can do that too. But theta, yeah, my guess would be that theta's due for a retracement, and if it's going to be, if mainnet's delayed till June, then unless there's some really good optimistic news about them, I would I would be surprised if they don't see some sort of retracement here, just because it's been up. Um, it's been up. It's gone up so much. I think 30x from the bottom. So from the beginning of this year, let's see. Okay, maybe not 30x. 8x from just this year. Um, so I think they're going to have a little bit of a retracement here. And if we did our fib level here, oops, like our fib level from the last main consolidation zone to the top. Yeah, you can see it got a nice bounce right off the 382. So if this does keep retracing, I would look for the 0.5 Fibonacci level or the 0.618 for the 0.618 has a lot of consolidation here, so and it was kind of its last main zone, so that might be a good accumulation level, which is about 50% down too. So that's another, yeah, exactly 50%. So that's, I'm actually gonna put a alert there, because right at the top of this, I'll add an alert, because I would even accumulate there if possible, if it gets down that far. So let's see, you want to see TWT? I'm guessing in the dollar pairing, Dylan. Let's see. Okay, so this is only like a month old, or it's been on Binance for a month. So first let's see what you're doing here. So when it got listed in late January, you had a nice run up, and now you're having a retracement. So if you if we do a fib level from like here to the top, yeah, exactly on the 786. I could have guessed like it would hit that perfectly. I'm telling you guys, traders are using these tools. Look at how perfect that 786 level is. So basically, traders who were looking to buy, get into it, who missed this run or were in this run and sold on the way up, were then waiting for it to get down to these levels here. I'm sure some they might have bought at the 0.618, and then when that broke, they would have waited till it got right down to the 786 level. So since then, you've gotten back up. You got back up and got rejected right off the 0.5. But let's go to the 4 hour just to make this a little bit easier to see. So you were making higher highs, higher lows, but you, yeah, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. That's about the same low, but then you did make higher highs again, higher lows, higher highs, but then you see what you have here. It's a head and shoulders pattern, which most of the time they pan out. I'll show you. 1, 2, 3, and you went down, back down to these levels. This is a bearish head and shoulders, and it did end up panning out, and you got down to these levels. Now, sorry, in the short term, this doesn't look, or in the long term, this doesn't look bad because right now, as of right now, you're making nice support here. So you have 1, 2, 3 times now. Basically, this was your bottom, and now you're making this your new level up, kind of. That's what you want to see. You want to see your chart, making new levels up, and making, even if it comes back down a couple times and hits it, the more time it hits the same level and bounces off of it, the stronger that support is. So right now this looks good. It might be a good, not financial advice, but might be a good time to accumulate, because this might be the new bottom for it. But it is pretty early since it got back down here again. It's only been like 5 hours since then, so like 5 to 8 hours. So if you get back up above the like 58 cents, that would be a very good signal to me that, basically that this is your bottom. This is a strong support level. So once you get back up above about 58 cents, this fib level, that would give me a lot of confidence that you're not just going to keep kind of dribbling down here, because if you keep, if you're not making any higher movements and you just stay down here and keep hitting it, that's not a good sign, because you'll most likely break through it at one point. But But if this acts as a strong support and you get a nice little bounce, now that you've had 3 times that happen, that would be happening, that would tell me this is strong support, and you're most likely going to end up getting up to the next your next little ladder here. You have this upward, basically you're forming a triangle here. And if I could even show you, let's see. Okay, so this is your new pattern here. And you know, you might bounce around here a little bit, but once you break this line, that's going to give you a nice pump up if you do it. If you lose this floor here, you're at least going back down to 41 cents. I hope that all makes sense. Dylan. And again, this is all based on, you know, that we stay in a bull market with Bitcoin kind of leading the way, or Bitcoin moving sideways and us going into an alt season, which then these coins could all run quite a bit. So we'll see what happens. Theta is not slowing down. We'll see though. I would bet Theta is going to end up making a lower high here. That would be my guess. But I could be wrong. It might. Aave, let's see. Yeah, Aave has been pretty rough. I'm gonna erase this. Let's go to 12-hour auto. So Aave, one of my favorite plays here, also forming a similar pattern here. let's check back in on Bitcoin here. Still kind of so on the 15-minute, we continue to make higher highs and higher lows. Let's go to the hourly. It's still a little too soon, but seems like we're going to be making a higher low here eventually. The graph. I mean, most of the time with those huge gains that have been happening, you're either, if you can get in on the private sale, uh, like I'll show you one for example. Like this is Polka City. Like if you really believe the project is good, because there's a lot of bad projects, but like this is an NFT project. If you wait for the basically like with this one, I waited for the private sale to happen, or the first day it listed on Uniswap. I don't suggest ever buying those days, because sometimes they continue to go up, but most of the time they spike up and then they just get dumped, and you could be on the bad end of that very easily. But then you just patiently wait, and then as soon as it broke up past previous where it closed the first day, that was a good sign that it might start running. And a lot of these are running like it's not so much like spotting the good, like you want to look at the charts. A lot of them are running even if they don't have great fundamentals. The chart just looks good, but there's such low cap. If they only have like a couple $1 million market cap at this point, and it starts pumping, a lot of people will get into it, and it doesn't take a lot of money for it to go up this high. So yeah, this one I was lucky enough to get in. I didn't get in way at the bottom. I got in kind of when it started pumping. But yeah, I'm holding because I think there will be another leg up. It's been holding support here. But yeah, a lot of them, this is another one. See, this one had a really nice run up from the beginning that didn't dump, so I'm not sure if they had a private sale or whatnot, but it's been holding these levels, making higher highs and higher lows, and I feel like once it breaks this all-time high, you're probably, not financial advice, but from what I've been seeing, a lot of them get big pumps because they have lower market caps. That's really the big reason. But they're way more riskier too. So, and like here's Alice. So like Alice, this is a 12-hour candle. So like Alice really isn't doing that good unless you were able to buy the very first minutes. Like it went up to 60 and then got sold off all the way back down to 28, and then has been continually going down. But like Alice, this might be a nice, like I have this on my radar because you want to wait for, it's been making lower lows, lower highs. You want to wait for that trend to change. And once that trend starts to change, I would bet, you basically want to see kind of like a big U here happen, a very wide U. But basically, and then once you see the trend change, it's risky, but I might take a position there once I see the trend is changing, because hopefully it will keep going up until it breaks where it closed that first day, right around the $28.60 mark. That would be the spot. Once it passes there, I think it could run up again. So, but even having the trend change here and going back up, you're still making quite a few gains. So, um, but also with Alice, like, you want to make sure the user base is going up too, like the actual fundamentals of that game. Because I saw a preview of it, it looked like it could be good, um, but is it going to mobile phones? Are you going to be able to play on mobile? Like, are is it accumulating a lot of users right now? Because just the price might not reflect that at all. But once the price starts going up, and if it does have a lot of users, like the user base is going up, then it might be a very good investment, like long term too. So not just for these big pumps, and then going back down. That's not what you want to see. So what do I do here? Yeah, so oh, that's that is the. Does that make sense, Dylan? We got 18 viewers here. If you guys like the content, feel free to subscribe or follow on Twitch and YouTube. Like the video if you can, and hit the alert icon if you want to know when I'm going live, which is every Monday through Thursday, 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you guys have any coins you want to look at, just let me know. Nice. I'm glad, Dylan. Yeah, a lot of new people coming into this space, and it's good to have even just a simple understanding of the technical analysis, because even the simplified versions of things will give you an edge up on trading. Let's take a look at Link. Chainlink here broke out of this nice wedge it was in. So we're done with that. Just kind of moving sideways here. Consolidation. Following Bitcoin a lot. Let's check on Bitcoin. We are holding above 52,000, which is a good sign. But yeah, it's not going to be an easy it's not going to be an easy road ahead. I think it's going to take some work to get back up to everyone feeling good. This is the 15-minute. Yeah, so the 15-minute is still making higher highs, higher lows, but seems to be, and it's bouncing right off of 52,000, but hopefully we can get a big candle at some point because it's kind of looks like it's rounding out a little bit. But if we can keep bouncing off of the 52,000, making that support, that would be good. We need to keep doing that. But guys, just if even if we get up to like 54,000 again, until we break this downward trend here, okay, until we break that, lower highs are still in play, and then after that lower lows. So even if we get all the way up to 56,000, that's still a lower high from our previous spot here. So the trend will not change until we get above 57,200. And if we break this trend line, there's a good argument to be made that will help pump us up above the previous high there. So, but it's going to take, seems like, a lot of work to get up there. So I don't think an Elon tweet's going to save us here. So. Bitcoin dominance starting to kind of fall. If we can break 60%, if we can break down past 60% on Bitcoin dominance, I think we're going to see some fireworks in the alt category. and most of the alts. So that's what I'm waiting for. Okay, guys, I'm gonna leave it there today. Gonna work on some more stream, some things to help the stream out a little bit, make it nicer to view, like getting a Bitcoin pricing figure on the screen at all times. But thanks for hanging out, and thank you for subscribing. And it looks like Bitcoin, you know, it's holding 52,000 pretty well right now. So at least for the past few hours. So we'll see if we can get that another leg up here. All right, thanks a lot, guys. Have a great night.